What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of our next part of the Thrawn's Revenge Imperial Civil War 2.2 preview playthrough series. So in the last preview playthrough we did, as Warlord Zsinj, I had a poll going on pretty much the entire time to determine what we would be playing as next, and as you can probably tell from the title, the Greater Maldrood won. So we're going to be playing as the Greater Maldrood. I'm going to have another poll going on in the description here. If I don't have that poll up, it means I forgot. But you can vote on what you want to see after Maldrood. But for Maldrood here, what we're going to be doing is playing through the Hunt for Zsinj GC again. So that is the GC that we played through with Warlord Zsinj. However, it is pretty significantly different from what it would be, or what it was when we played through as Zsinj. A lot of the planets have changed, the layout's changed a bit, and there's also a bunch of new features in it that it can show off a little bit better than some of the other GCs at the moment. So we're going to stick with that. It has some stuff like the emergent faction, some little mini story campaign or story elements that Maldrood doesn't quite have in the other ones yet. So it makes a pretty good way to show off some of the new things we're doing. And we will get right to it. I do know that some people wanted me to play Endor Aftermath. I do intend to do that with the Eridu Authority. However, that would show off. We'd have to have a lot more of the stuff ready to show for that. And we're not quite ready to show off the Eridu Authority yet, and they are in that GC. So we're just going to stick with Hunt for Zsinj. But get right into it. I do want to thank everyone for the support on the last playthrough. The channel grew so much from the during the duration of that playthrough, and it's just been fantastic. So thank you all so much for that. Watch that playthrough if you haven't seen it yet and you want to see it. You can actually check that out in the video logs there. But anyways, rather than try to read that one since I was talking over it, we will have the hologram thing that comes up. I did make that already, however, I messed up the file, and it is actually it's there, but it's invisible. So, since we didn't read it there, we'll read it here. The traitor Rogris and the rebels appear to be making some form of alliance against Zsinj. We must act quickly and take advantage of the situation to expand our territory. If Zsinj is eliminated as a threat, that should also mean the end of the rebels' alliance with Rogris and the ruling council, turning the odds even more in our favor. So here you can see how we'll win. The Imperial Remnant is removed from the galaxy, New Republic is removed from the galaxy, and Zsinj's Empire is removed from the galaxy. We'll just pause it here, because you can get a little bit more information from the story objective screen. They have, in addition to the overview here, you have a different hint section for each GC that'll tell you about any special case production that you should know about. We're trying not to overload this with too much information, but it can have some useful documentation for it. For example, once Zsinj dies, I'm going to make sure this stays paused, there will be two splits that happen within the enemy factions here. We're going to call them schism events. So the first one is that the corporate sector will actually break off from Zsinj and become their own independent faction at Eddy 4, Bonadin, and Ession, as long as those planets are still controlled by Zsinj at that point. And the other one that can happen is, after Zsinj is dead, the Imperial Remnant will join, or will become its own faction on Garros, I believe Graven as well, Karida, and Kuat. And those planets will only become Imperial if they're controlled by the New Republic at the time, because the Imperials were cooperating with the New Republic, and then they stop at a certain point. The exception to that rule is Kuat, which, regardless of who controls it, will become Imperial. So the game does warn you about that ahead of time. But anyways, we're going to take a look at our territory here. We only start off with one hero, Truten Teradok in 13X from the Crimson Command Fleet. There will be a few different ways to gain some new heroes during the campaign. There would be the Greater Maldrood in general actually does have fewer heroes than the other factions tend to. They do have more coming up though, and it'll depend a bit more on the era for them. So like they get Gilad Pelion in Era 4. They can actually, if they take Kashyyyk early enough in one of the Era 1 campaigns, or like the early Era 1 campaigns, they can actually get a Grand Admiral and some other people. But those people are now dead, as this is Era 2. And we'll actually be able to take Antimeridius here, which is also controlled by a non-playable faction, and we can take some heroes from that. But we'll start getting set up here. The asteroid field here is one of our capital ship factories. Oh, the other thing to note is that the icons I basically just threw together so you guys would know what you're looking at. They're definitely not final. We're planning to do a lot of GUI reworking. So I essentially just, we don't know what that's going to look like entirely yet, so I was holding off on some icons until we did. It's really just so that you know what's what on the build bar here while we're playing through. But we'll take a look at Intermedius. So this is one of the neutral factions, or not neutral, but one of the non-playable factions, the Antimeridian Sector. You have 2 heroes that will actually join us once we take this faction out. So that's going to be one of our early goals looking forward to here, or that we're looking towards here. But we'll try to make sure we have a decent fleet, because the AI actually does like to attack the asteroid fields over there pretty early. So we'll try to build up whatever we can at the other planets. Get some actually, Arcanists we can build at other planets. We'll get precursors there. Zsinj we can get 3 of those and then 2 of those. Tagoria, what can you build for us? We'll get some IPVs from you, escort carriers, and a gladiator. And at Charos, we will get barracks and light vehicle factory. And from Bemisari, we'll just load it up with light vehicle factories. Metalorn, we'll try to get up to some heavy vehicle factories, and same with... Actually, Zsinj, you're going to get... Those aren't even mine. You're going to get mines. Centauri's, we're going to get mines as well. And Thanos is going to get mines as well. So that should be a pretty good setup to start with. Then get that guy going, get our second shipyard. Column-X, if they decide to attack it, we're probably going to just abandon it. It's a bit too close to Zsinj's territory, but I do want to take Liana. It'll be a nice... This whole area up here is actually pretty heavily concentrated with good shipyard worlds. We have Liana over here and Mon Calamari over here. So hopefully they'll work on fighting each other, but can't rely on that. I'm going to make sure that this asteroid field stays pretty heavily defended. Then soon we'll be able to actually put these at the side so that we can start building a secondary fleet to attack Antimeridius, because we'll get 2 free Star Destroyers out of that as well. I'm going to take these Architens out, put them in the new fleet. We'll take a Precursor and an ISD-2 from this fleet. And we'll take some Crimson VSTs here. This should be enough. I'm going to actually grab that Providence, just so you guys can see it. It's still the same model that we were using in the Fall of the Republic mini-mod, like 8 years ago, so the skin hasn't been redone yet. We do intend to redo it. I think Dr. Knickers might actually be starting that pretty soon, so it might even be the new skin by the end of this playthrough. But, where did it go? Did I send it somewhere and not realize it? I probably realized it, but I forgot. Oh, here we go. So yeah, the model is still... We're still happy with the model. We're not happy with the... Okay, this could be difficult. You'll probably get to see some of the new stuff we're doing. I don't know if this map has it, but we are redoing a lot of the sky domes. No, I don't think this is a new one. But we have way too many and they don't look great in the mod right now. So we're trying to replace with lower numbers of better ones, which should also help with loading times. But I'm scared. Oh, this is gonna suck. As long as we're in this area, I don't know if they can get Zsinj in safely, because pathfinding. But we'll see what we can do. So yeah, as I was saying, we have been replacing some of the models with better ones. So the ISD model here is an upgraded version. We have an upgraded VSD model as well. Then there's still stuff like the Allegiance and the Precursor, which we're working on improving before release if we can. But you'll also see stuff like damage particles that we're working on. So when the Star Destroyer and the newer models are the ones that have it at the moment, but we started adding stuff so that when the hard points are destroyed, they'll have the damaged little decal things, and they'll have the smoke trails and all that fun stuff. Once our basic priority list is essentially replacing the worst models, getting the models we are happy with to have the damage particles, and then after that's all ready, we'll start putting in the death clones. So I'm not sure how much we'll be able to get done for 2.2, but that's going to be a big focus of ours between 2.2 and the aptly named 2.3. See if we can take out any fighters before we start dealing with their capital ships. We can actually take out a few heroes. And if we're able to kill Zsinj by some miracle, that'll mean that we get access to Terok's brother, Kosh. But yeah, so as we go through the playthrough, you'll see a bunch of updated stuff, like all these new the turbo lasers, which look a bit more like the movie style you'd be used to. Or the movie style than what you'd be used to from the older versions of TR. The teardrop style we used to have. I'd honestly be okay if they wanted to leave right now. That'd be fine with me. But yeah, so there'll be a lot of stuff like that to point out. There's still, obviously, this is a like pre-beta version. So there's a lot of stuff that's still in the process of being worked on, even some of the newer stuff is still being improved all the time. So, for example, right now there will be a bit of difficulty targeting the shield hardpoints on ISDs with bombers because the bone is a little bit outside of the collision mesh, because we were trying to go with a more form-fitting collision mesh, and you get less of the big box of collisions outside. So that's all stuff that'll be sort of ironed out as we go. There's still some balance issues with some of the units that we're converting from either Fall of the Republic or the base game, but this is all stuff that we'll be working on as we go, and you'll probably even see some progress on during this playthrough. So, nothing to really worry about. I mean, this fleet is something to worry about, but any little bugs like that, stuff that I'll be making notes of while we play. Hopefully we'll be able to... I do know Antimeridius has one of the newer Skydomes, so you'll at least be able to see that when we go and take Antimeridius. And we've been actually replacing him on a pretty much daily basis between myself and especially Dr. Nick. He's been really plugging away at that and moving some of the Ascendancy models into ICW, so like these TIE Fighter models, if I can get in there. These are the Ascendancy ones that we made for the Ascendancy. They do tend to run better. They're a lot more optimized, but they also look better. So it's the best of all worlds. Oh, they're jumping in hydraulics inside each other. This is a model that definitely needs to be redone. The ship itself might even be replaced. I'm not sure if we're going to redo the model or just ditch the ship, but we'll have to see. Come on. I need these TIE Hunters to come in here. I hate this model so much. I also don't like that they're inside each other right now. That's kind of weird. But we've taken out, I think, 3 heroes so far. Counting Kryn, who's about to die. They can keep trying, I don't care about what they're doing there. But these will be some nice anti-fighter ships for us. We might actually be able to go fight Zsinj. I don't want you guys in the asteroid field. This might actually be a very short hunt for Zsinj. But, so, this sort of events with the faction splits, that's going to be something that you see in a lot of eras, or a lot of GCs coming up. There will be some stuff in like Era 1 when you bait, or if you take Coruscant or switch between Isard, or Sate Pestage and Isard, because Era 1 is being sort of split into two mini eras, I guess, where you'll see like Zero Command split off of the main Empire and the Kutric Hegemony, and there'll be some stuff where there'll be some different criteria for switching eras sometimes, and that's all going to be stuff that we try to show off in the upcoming Let's Plays as well. Era 3 is going to be a lot more interesting than it previously was. Same with Era 4, really. Alright. No, you guys went far enough. Good job. I'm proud of you. We're not going to be able to do anything there. I think this is just mostly fighters left. That Nebulon B's down. That VSD's down. Alright, see if we can get these TIE Hunters to do some good work for us. We shouldn't really have TIE Hunters, but we're technically using the Pentastar Alignment's reinforcement forces right now until I can actually change that. But we'll send these guys through there. These guys can actually come up. Oh, it's turning around, too. There is the Allegiance still up there. That's going to be something we have to worry about. But if we can get in behind Zsinj... Are they sending the Allegiance in? Okay, I need this ISD up here. You guys can go up there. The Allegiance has to take the front. There's theirs. Okay. Everybody needs to be in position and take out the Allegiance. We do have a fair number of bombers. So as long as, if we don't lose too much, okay, we're gonna lose that. Who cares? Those fighters won't be able to penetrate that on their own. You guys need to come try to take that out. Don't turn around. Don't Empire at War this. Right, shields are out. That precursor is going to have to go power to weapons. Alright. Our Allegiance has had some pathfinding issues. Alright. Gonna have to set some waypoints. Alright. That's taken out. I'm really lucky they attacked us here. One of the few maps where he wouldn't be able to come in at an angle that's useful. Can you actually take these out? I don't know if you can. It's just turbos and ions. If you were a Vindicator, you'd be able to. You're... Once the Allegiance actually gets in, we can start like a full... Okay. Zsinj is firing. Is the Allegiance getting off shots now? No, that's a TIE Fighters. That ISDE might go down. How's their shield? Their shield's still really high, damn. Sorry, ISD. Make sure you guys are getting as much damage in on this as you can. Come on. Okay, their shields are almost down. Okay, yeah, take out the Enforcer. That's fine. Do that. So no, that's I mean that's my most important ship. We can't lose that. You got us, Zsinj. All right. Spread out the fire as much as I can. That way it'll like retarget between every salvo, and it doesn't waste shots going inside stuff. If like that's what happens if you try to target like this. It seems like I'm just wasting clicks, but it actually does something because EAW. We've actually gone to the point where we might be able to take out the rest of Zsinj with just the Allegiance, as long as he doesn't warp out or warp. I was playing Star Trek Armada yesterday a lot, so by warp out I mean hyperspace. We don't have an interdictor, and I haven't finished coding in their engine hardpoints yet. I was going to do that when we rig in the replacement executor model. Right, seizure warning. Right, it's starting to get its full firepower onto the Allegiance. Damn. Try to fly over it. That's the only thing we can really do. No. We were so close. No. Yeah, go through the asteroids. Maybe as long as he doesn't get his shield. Oh, his shields are gonna come. I don't think we can still win this. Come on. Hurry up.
Right away. Course plotted. Moving out.
If we can't take this out, I should have just left after
Attack position.
his shields are back. Oh, not very much. Not very much.
Attack. Fire for maximum effect. Space station damage.
There's enough targets that we might actually be able to do something here.
Directing weapons at their lasers. Reinforcements en route. Yes, Commander. Direct fire at their laser cannons. For another. Directing weapons at their lasers. I'm losing.
We might be able to do this. The enforcers just have to try to stay on the side that has the least weapons. Especially if they're going to start firing at the TIE bombers.
Target the lasers. Target lock. Excellent shot. Your orders.
What are you doing?
I have them now. Enemies incoming. Directing weapons at their lasers. Space station.
Why was that one going out that far?
Deactivated. Your command, sir. Our engines are out.
No, go over here.
Reinforcements en route. Direct fire at their laser cannons.
That was down.
Weapons at their lasers.
Okay, if these guys can come over.
All out. TIE squadron here. Yes, Commander. Ready. Those laser banks are the primary target. Weapons ready.
Come on, get closer. We've taken out all the weapons on this side.
Fire at their laser cannons. Directing weapons at their lasers. Confirm target.
Take out the concussion missiles.
Direct fire at their laser cannons. Bombers standing by. Target the lasers.
Keep coming.
Weapons ready, sir.
What a short hunt.
Directing weapons at their lasers. Reporting. Roger that. Asteroids.
Alright. This is actually going to be a longer than usual episode, but
Fire at their laser cannons. Eyes reporting. Attacking the lasers.
okay. We're almost through.
Directing weapons at their lasers.
Speed it up. 5, 4. Oh my god.
Direct fire at their
Is the hunt for Zsinj already over? See, this is why we don't use Destroy Enemy Leader as a victory condition in the mod very often. Because stuff like this happens and you win in week 2.
reinforcements en route.
Oh, the text, or the speech for the text in there, but we did get Kosh. The Imperial Remnant just spawned there. Okay, so this is what that should say. It appears that I was correct and the Alliance has already begun to split. Zsinj's defeat has also meant an increased focus on ourselves as their primary enemy. We cannot kill them and we cannot allow them to gain any ground, so I have been forced to request the assistance of my brother Kosh and his forces. So, if you check the galactic log here, you can see the Imperial Remnant just jumped up a bunch of planets there. The New Republic jumped down. The Imperial Remnant militaries jumped up, and so was their economy. Then you have all these planets. Where are we going here? It will be around... Okay, Kuwat control change from New Republic to Imperial Remnant. Karda, Sauce Beacon, that was the fourth one. Then Eddy 4 and Ession control change from Zsinj's Empire to Corporate Sector Authority. So once we get up there, unless the New Republic or Zsinj decide, or what's left of Zsinj's Empire decides to take them out, we'll be able to come across the Imperial Remnant and Corporate Sector Authority. So I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. There will be new episodes of this series coming out. Generally, it'll be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. However, what we're going to be doing for this week is tomorrow I'm going to be putting out a second episode, and then on Saturday we're actually going to stream the next few episodes. So if you want to see any of that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to leave a like if you like the content in the video, that really does help the channel grow and make it show up in searches for other people. So you can also subscribe to the channel to get the notifications for the Saturday stream. That'll be at 2 p.m. EST on YouTube. So if you're just at the YouTube channel, it should show that it is live when it's happening. But I'm just going to save to make sure we don't lose this. All right. So again, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it. See you tomorrow.